Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly career classes. My name is Muskan, and I'll be hosting today's live session. Thank you so much for joining in. Let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes, and then we can start with our session. Okay. Hi, everyone. So we are back with our another session. Did you know that career in the arts like art therapy, UX design are rapidly growing as they adopt to modern needs? Let's explore these unpopular career options in the industry of arts. So let's begin this session. And if you all have any questions, please use the live chat box to ask anything. And to talk about our topic today, we are welcoming our very special guest, Dr. Iti Arora Singh. Iti is a seasoned design educator and a career counselor with more than 15 years of experience across various roles, from associate professor at Chandigarh University to freelance design thinking facilitator and a career counselor. Welcome, Iti. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Muskan. I hope I'm audible to everyone. And could you please confirm that the screen is in full screen mode?
Yes, yes, it is.
All right. Great. As soon as you give me the green light, I shall begin.
Yeah. So, Iti, can we start by knowing you a little bit, your experience, your background, and about the art industry a little bit?
All right. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. Uh, my name is Aeti Arora, and I have a PhD in interior design. I am currently working with Chandigarh University as an associate professor. Besides that, I also have a design studio, and I do sustainable design through that studio. I have been working as a career counselor for the past 4 years now. So as you can see, I have a variety of experiences, but they all tie together into one same thing that I love working with young minds, and I love shaping young minds and helping people out. And design is a passion, and career counseling just is like another pillar that helps support that passion.
Amazing, amazing. So, our today's topic is unconventional career paths in art industry. So, what do you have to say about these career options and what are these career options exactly? What are the skills we need? How can we pursue them? What is the educational pathway? Let's start with all these.
Yes. So I knew that these questions are going to come up. So what I did was I created a presentation, and I hope this presentation will answer all these questions. And I'll be happy to answer the questions at the end of the presentation if you think that this presentation doesn't answer them. So in today's presentation, we will be talking about some unconventional careers in arts, besides, your painter and sculptor. So we will be discussing the educational pathways, the career opportunities the person is going to get, the skills that are required, and some tips from my side. Well, I've already told you about myself, so I'm going to skip that. Okay, so when a person thinks about arts, they normally think about a painter or a sculptor, right? And we normally don't think about all of the other things an artist makes possible. So, the idea behind the seminar is to introduce these unconventional careers to young minds, because there are, a lot of kids that are creative, and they kind of feel that the only option that they have that is painting. But and I've noticed on social media that a lot of kids, they're very very talented, and they think that the competition and with the advent of AI, there are very less possibilities for them. So I would like to address that issue and tell you about why it is important to explore these unconventional art careers. So it is a niche market as of now, but trust me, it is going to see exponential growth in the future. So things like digital art, therapy, therapy through art, art in public spaces. People had a tendency of looking at graffiti as a nuisance or something as a mess, but that perception is changing. If you go to any festival or if you go to any art exhibition, you'll see that graffiti has now taken like a center stage, and more events are including graffiti as a point of installation in their events, right? And then art, what it does, it offers a lot of innovation and flexibility, and there is a lot of demand for things like digital art installations, interactive works. I'll be covering all of that in this particular presentation. Okay, so these are the career paths that we will be discussing today. First and foremost, art therapist, then art conservation and restoration, and the list is on your screen. You can have a quick read, and then I will dive into the details of it. All right. Now let's look at the first one, which is the art therapist. Now, art therapy is a growing field. It combines two, very, very different fields. Now, art is completely creative, but psychology is, something that deals with how the person's brain works, and how these creative processes can help a person heal or get better in their life. So it is an interdisciplinary field, and it is combined with psychology. So what you need to do for it is that you need first a bachelor's in fine arts, so BFA is bachelor's of fine arts, and then you need a master's degree in art therapy. Initially it used to be a very kind of hard to come by degree, but thankfully a lot of colleges and universities have started offering a course in art therapy. And then you also need a certification from the recognized institution to practice as an art therapist. The skills that are needed is, of course, empathy. If you can't understand your subjects, please don't go for this particular career. You need empathy, you need active listening and creativity. You also need to have an understanding of both psychological theories and artistic techniques, which obviously you will be learning in the courses. Where will you work? You will be working in hospitals, rehabilitation centers, schools, mental health clinics, and you can have your own studios as well. Why is it unconventional? Because it blends two very, very different fields, art and mental health, psychology, and it offers a creative approach to therapy and counseling. It is a niche field in India as of now, but it is rapidly gaining recognition because there has been a lot of conversation about mental health and why it is important to tackle that, you know, issue. Next, moving on, is art conservation and restoration. It involves preserving and repairing artworks, ensuring that they withstand the test of time. So basically, if I were to explain it to you in layman's language, if you ever go to Rajasthan or Delhi, and if you look at any of these old buildings, and you see a lot of old frescoes with the, detailed flowers and carving, and you can see that over a period of time it has started deteriorating. But an art conservationist, this is what they do. They come in and they restore these pieces. And for this, first and foremost, you need a bachelor's degree in fine arts. because you need to be an artist first. You could also have a degree in art history, archaeology, or chemistry. Chemistry, why? Because a lot of these paintings right now, the colors that we are using are very different from the colors that were used historically. So there needs to be an understanding of how these pigments, they work with each other, what is the chemistry behind them, and how they are going to react to the oxidation, that means the exposure to the environment. How are they going to work with the oxidation? So having a background in chemistry helps. Then there is a master's degree in art conservation. You need that to pursue art conservation. The skills and traits that are needed is that you need to be detail oriented, you need to be patient, because this is going to be really hard physical labor. And before you can restore a piece, there are going to be a lot of processes that you need to do on the piece initially to understand that what chemicals are going to be used, what were the pigments that were used, how to color match it so that you don't change the original piece. So it requires a lot of patience and, of course, craftsmanship. I'm going to repeat this. You need knowledge of chemistry, materials, and preservation techniques. Now, let's talk about work environments. You can work at museums, galleries, cultural institutions, or you can also work as a freelance conservator. You work on public and private collections, historical monuments, and archaeological finds. So, what you see in the museums, besides the buildings, what you see in the museums, all these curated pieces, cleaned up pieces for you to see and observe, they have been done by a art conservationist. Why is it unconventional? It combines art with science, allowing professionals to work behind the scenes. It provides the opportunities to preserve cultural heritage, working on iconic artworks, relics, and historical objects. The next career that we are going to talk about is of an art curator. Now, you might think that these two are very, very similar. I mean, these two are very, very same, but no, they're similar in nature. Now, as when we talk about art curator, this person is only dealing with paintings, paintings or artworks that exist um, in a kind of, so they are not on buildings, but they're paintings pieces, like if we talk about Van Gogh, or we talk about Picasso, or if we talk about Raja Ravi Verma. So all these paintings that we talk about, so these people do curation of those paintings, and these people they work on managing exhibitions as well, right? So they select these pieces, they take care of them, and they put up in the gallery or a museum. What do you need to do as a course to be an art curator? You need um, degree in archaeology or museology. Museology words comes from the word museum. A master's degree you can do in the same specialization. The skills required are strong organizational and research skills, because you need to research the painter, the conditions that the painter lived in, and a lot of their life history, and about what made the painting possible. You also need creativity and a very deep understanding of art history and trends. The work environments will be museums, galleries, cultural festivals, also corporate art programs, because a lot of corporate houses have now started taking interest in artworks as well. Also in digital spaces like virtual exhibitions and online art platforms. Now, this started happening due to COVID. And a lot of art curators, they had the time now to curate their museums and their galleries and their work into a digital form. I can tell you that you can sit right here and you can see the Louvre, you can visit the Louvre from here. And that is made all possible thanks to an art curator. Why is it unconventional? Digital transformation has expanded curation beyond physical spaces, as I explained. Now, these people are working with virtual exhibitions, digital archives, and doing AI driven art installations as well. Next is art critic or an art journalist. Now, I have combined these two. These are two different people, but one person can do both these professions as well. Now, art criticism is basically about analyzing and interpreting an artist's work. And art journalism is writing about art. Now, you could be writing about art history or you could be writing about contemporary art. Now, contemporary art is basically the art that is being done in the current timeline. Okay. So, two very different professions, but they work hand in hand. It requires a deep understanding of art history, what is currently trending, and of course, you need to be really good at communicating yourself. You require a BA in fine arts or art history, and you need a master's degree in journalism. Skills required are analytical thinking, the ability to articulate complex ideas. You need to also have a detail, you need to have an eye for detail, and you also need historical knowledge. Work environments are working for newspapers, magazines, or online platforms. You can also contribute to exhibition catalogs, academic journals, or curatorial publications. Why is it unconventional? It is unconventional because traditional media is being now replaced with things like podcasts, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and YouTube videos. And this makes it easier for people to talk about their work and showcase their work and their knowledge as well. Digital and new media artist. Now, I'm sure that you have also acted like a digital or a new media artist in your own way, because AI has made it possible for you to just imagine something, to think of something, and then you create a prompt. And from your given text, it now has given us the ability to create, something that is artistic. That is one aspect of digital and the new media, right? But there is another aspect, which is virtual reality, augmented reality. Virtual reality is reality that exists in a digital world. So, your uh, virtual reality glasses, and augmented reality is what you see in filters and on Snapchat, if you use Snapchat. So, where you see filters where your face or any object is enhanced or changed just by pointing a camera at it. So that is augmented reality, where the reality is shifted or changed just a little bit, not completely though. And what do you require to do? You need a BA in fine arts. You need certification or training in softwares. So there are a lot of softwares that are available to digital artists. And if you're considering a career in arts, I highly, highly recommend that you learn softwares, things like Procreate and Illustrator. These are going to be indispensable for you if you are planning to become an artist. The skills that you're going to need is creativity and adaptability in using new tools and platforms. You need technical proficiency, just like I said, like in Adobe Creative Suite. So, Adobe Creative Suite, Adobe is a company that has a lot of creative softwares. Illustrator is one of them. Other than that, there is another company called Coral, and they also have a vast array of softwares for art for us artists to use. Then you also could do some 3D modeling programs like Maya as well. The work environments are going to be film and animation studios, or you could work as an independent artist or a freelancer. You could collaborate with tech companies, game developers, or advertising agencies. Why is it unconventional? The fusion of art and technology, it creates a evolving landscape, as we are seeing with AI. and it provides opportunities to do projects that we have never seen before. I To help you understand what I'm talking about, I have lined up a few case studies for you later in the presentation. So please stay till the end so that you can see that how people are actually started to work in these unconventional careers. Next is a creative consultant. Now, a creative consultant is already an artist. They have been artist for a decade or much longer, and they help companies when they are looking for a little artistic direction, or they help with branding or creative strategies. That what are the brand colors going to be, what should the logo look like. So these people, I know that the graphic designer is going to design it, but these people come up with the whole campaign of what the brand is going to look like, and what is the artistic direction a brand should take. So you need to have a degree in fine arts. You could, if you're a really old artist, a bachelor in fine arts plus your experience works. But if you're a fairly newer artist, somewhere around 5 to 7 years of experience, you do need your masters. Skills needed are ability to think creatively and solve problems. You also need the knowledge of current design trends and artistic techniques. The work environments are going to be advertising agencies, marketing firms, corporate setting, or you can work as a freelancer. You get to collaborate with different artists and designers and brands to create compelling visual narratives. Why is it unconventional? Because this role allows for a diverse range of projects. So you're not really stuck in one kind of projects. You can work on variety of projects. You can work independently, and you can choose the projects, whatever projects that you want to work on. Now, before I move on to the next career, I would like to check in again and see that if my screen is being shared correctly and if I'm audible to everyone. Muskan, could you confirm?
Yes, yes, it's clear. It's clear and loud.
All right, thank you. Moving on. Tattoo artist. Now, I'm sure you must know what a tattoo artist is. And thankfully, our society is becoming much more open to the idea of people getting tattooed. It's not a taboo anymore, just like it used to be in corporate settings or in a family setting. So that has given rise to a lot of tattoo artists and people opening up to the idea of working as one. So, what do you need to do to become a tattoo artist? Actually, the main thing that you need to be is have the talent and be creative. Other than that, you need to be working under a licensed tattoo artist. You need to learn from them. And finally, you need an artistic portfolio. So for one, when you have your own studio, or when you want to go for to work for somebody else, you need to have your portfolio with you to show that what kind of work you can do and the variety of work that you have, so that they can hire you, or somebody can hire you to do their tattoo. Okay. For this, you need exceptional drawing and design abilities, and attention to detail, and a very strong hand-eye coordination. Where will you work? You will work in tattoo studios, art events, or conventions. Some tattoo artists also work freelance and travel to provide their service. Now, these are the people who have reached a level where they've become so exceptional that people will pay anything to get a tattoo from them. So either the person travels or the tattoo artist travels. Why is it unconventional? It is a unique form of art that integrates personal meaning with culture and social commentary, that whatever is trending nowadays. The tattoo industry has grown significantly with more acceptance and appreciation for body art as a legitimate art form. Then comes the concept artist. Now, concept artist, I would like to show you, I would like to explain this via an example. So, I'm sure a lot of you must have seen sci-fi movies. Like, I'll name the common ones like Star Wars, Star Trek, or even if we talk about Marvel and DC. So I know that Marvel and DC come from, they are based in the comics, but if we look at the sci-fi things like Star Wars and Star Trek, so the writer came up with the idea of what the story is going to be, but who was that person who came with the idea that what R2D2 is going to look like, right? Or if I say, for example, talk about the movie Wall-E, or any animated movie, the latest one being Inside Out 2. So they were talking about these emotions, sadness, joy, anger, fear, disgust. So who was this person who came up with the idea that what these emotions are going to look like? So that guy was a concept artist. Now that is the reason why initially a lot of you must have seen it a lot of movies, but now this has become like a full-fledged career. People are much more open to hiring a concept artist, where they're not kind of going literal, that okay, if it's sadness that we are talking about, then it has to be blue, because when you're sad, then you're feeling blue. Yeah. So it is not as literal any longer. So hence concept artists are becoming much, are being welcomed with much more open arms. So, what do you need to do to become a concept artist? You need a degree in fine arts or illustration or any similar degree. You need a very strong portfolio showcasing your concept art and skills across various mediums. Um, the skills that you need are very strong drawing and painting skills, traditionally and digitally. Now, this is referring to the new age digital artist, where you need to know the softwares, understanding of the color theory, composition, and character design. The work environments are going to be film studios, animation companies, video game developers, or sorry, you could work as a freelance artist. Now you get to collaborate with writers, animators, game designers to ensure that everybody is on the same page and the final product looks good enough that people relate to it. Why is it unconventional? Because this role is integral to the creative process in entertainment. It requires deep understanding of storytelling and character development. Now, with that, I have covered all the unconventional careers for today, but it goes to say here that this is not a comprehensive list. There are many, many more. Or the best part is that there are many more that you can create yourself. If you're creative, if you're artistic, and if you have an amazing talent combined with hard work and experience, you can create a career that I haven't talked about today, or I don't even know about. But I would definitely want to talk about that, what are the pros of getting into an artistic field and what are the bad things about it. So, first, I would like to talk about the pros, that if you're a creative person and you're looking for an outlet for your creative expression, then this field is absolutely right for you. It also offers diverse opportunities to work in various fields, because artists have a tendency of fitting in most places. Most of the companies require them, and in various in various job roles, they find their space. If you don't want to work in a job, that also works as an artist. If you want to have your own studio, you want to work at times, you don't want to work at times, this field offers you that option, a flexible work environment. uh, it should have been cons, I apologize. So if we talk about a few cons, the first foremost con about this field is that financial uncertainty. When you're growing as an artist, when you're developing your style, there are going to be times when you're not going to be having a job, or you're not going to be having a project, and that is going to lead to a lot of financial instability, and you never know that when is your next project coming. So that is one of the main problems of this field. Then there is a lot of competition. In our country, it is a land of crafts and arts. So you can understand that our country is full of artists, so there's a lot of competition. And another thing that I consider as a con is that you have to be creative on demand. Now creativity doesn't work like math. Maths, you apply the formula and you have the answer, but creativity doesn't work like that. Creativity, you need to be in a different headspace to be creative. And but this particular profession would want you to be creative on demand, that if you have a project right now and the client wants you to do this, or your boss wants you to do this, you have to be creative on demand. And all the other things need to be put aside, that what is your you know emotional state, or what is your mental frame at that point of time. So all those considerations need to be put on the side. All right, so I have explained all of this to you. So what are the next steps that you need to follow? First and foremost, you need to identify your interests, that if this field is for you or not. And if there's a confusion that should you follow this field or not, are you creative enough, and your creativity can find a foothold or a space in this art world. You could take guidance and career counseling. Then you constantly need to expose yourself to art, art forms, art history, um, what the artists are doing currently, contemporary art. You need to be continuously learning to make yourself a better artist, and obviously practice. Now, practice brings me to the next step, which is building a portfolio. Now, an artist doesn't get a job because of a resume. Just because you did your bachelor in fine arts, you're not going to get a job as an artist, or any of the careers that you want to pursue in the domain of art. You need to have a portfolio. A portfolio is basically a collection of all the creative things that you have done in your life, all your strong all your strong work that you think that this is really good, and people tell you that okay, this is really amazing work. So it needs to be a compilation of all those works, right? And how to make a strong portfolio? You need diversity of work. So if you have, say that if you like painting a sunrise, or if you like painting landscapes, or if you like to paint horses, your portfolio cannot be full of just horses. There has to be diversity, because you never know what kind of project you will be required to do when you're doing a project for a client, or you're working for a company. So you need diversity in your work. You need a range of projects to go in your portfolio. And always go for quality over quantity. So it doesn't matter that you have done 80 paintings, that is not going to matter. But if those 80 paintings are not good enough, it's completely pointless. So there has to be quality. Even if you're just going there with 6 pieces in your portfolio, they have to be these top notch amazing pieces that the person looking at that portfolio is completely blown away. And a very good idea is to process documentation. Now this has two aspects to it. Now documentation helps you establish that you are the artist. It also helps you establish that how you got that idea, how you went ahead to develop that idea. That gives a very unique perspective, because art is very subjective. Everybody is going to perceive it the way they want to perceive it. They might not understand it the way you understand it, but once you process, you put the documentation of how you came up with it and how you went through it. And I'm pretty sure if you're interested in the arts, you must have seen a lot of videos on Instagram of artists talking about that, how they came up with the idea and how they started compiling their work. So if you can add that to your portfolio, that works. And then finally, have a tailored presentation where you put all your pieces in a story format, that um, a strong piece in the beginning, maybe a little mediocre in the middle, and then another followed by another strong piece, and then giving it a amazing finish. So it has to be a tailored presentation, and it also needs to be tailored to who the I'm sorry, who I'm sorry, I'm kind of the words are kind of um, what is it called? It's called the slip of tongue, or was it called that? They've suddenly forgotten the words. Basically, the person that you're going to see, the kind of work that they're expecting from you, the project that they want you to work on. So you're going to tailor your portfolio according to the project and according to the job that you're going for. I hope that makes it clear. Sorry for the fumble before. Now, as promised, I have a few case studies for you. So we talked about AR, VR, and we also talked about digital, you know, way of doing art. Now this is an amalgamation of that. So this is augmented reality in combination with concept art and also digital art. I don't know if you've heard of this very famous artist called Vincent van Gogh. So he's a Dutch artist. His Starry Night, as you can see on the screen. If you even don't know the artist, this is one of his most famous paintings, the Starry Night. Uh, what they did was they took all his paintings, like more than 1,000 paintings, and they compiled it into an art exhibition. And it was just not that they had just put the paintings and okay, go see all his paintings. No, they actually made it an immersive experience. Now let me show you a glimpse of that. uh, Muskan, I would like you to confirm if you can hear the audio. Let me play the video, and if it's not audible, I will turn it on in the setting.
No, no, it's audible. Let's play the video and then I can confirm.
Yes.
So the audio is not on, but yeah, we can see the video.
Okay. So I'll just quickly go to the Zoom call.
You're still on mute. Iti, you're still on mute.
So as you can see, what they did was they took all the paintings and using augmented reality, they made the paintings move. That what Van Gogh might be looking at the point where he painted those paintings, or if you were there with him, right next to him, what would you have seen, or uh, what you might have felt when he was going through the process of these paintings, and you got to be completely a part of the painting itself, right? So this is immersive art. Next is tattoo artist. Now you might think that tattoos, I've seen so many tattoos, why is she showing me tattoo artists? Now this particular work belongs to Remy B. So I have his profile listed here, but I would like to show you some of his work and how he is a different tattoo artist than you normally see.
That's pretty amazing, actually.
So I don't think we need the audio for this
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because it's quite self-explanatory.
Yeah.
So normally tattoos are very static.
Very creative.
Yes, what he has done is taken that very static medium and he has converted it into something that is in motion. It gives a completely different dimension to the art of tattooing, and creates a very unique expression of the what the person wants their tattoo to say.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So for the next one, I would like to show you concept artist.
I hope this one's last because we are running out of time.
This one actually is the last.
Okay.
Yeah. So, concept artist, as I told you about, that when a writer writes the story, they are thinking about the characters. They're not really thinking about what it is finally going to look like. So, I would like to introduce you to a concept artist. Now, this concept artist, he has worked on a lot of sci-fi movies, and this is a sample of his work. As you can see, this is from a very recent movie called Rebel Moon, and this is Pat Presley. He's a concept artist. So if you can see from his profile, these are a lot of concept sketches. He also lists the movies that he's worked on. So Agatha All Along, Peacemaker, Rebel Moon, Star Wars Rebels. So this is what a concept artist does. Now, I think this should give you a good idea on what to expect and what to do. So, this is the time for questions. I am done with my presentation. I'll be happy to answer any
Yeah.
questions that you have for the time that we have left.
So, Iti, I believe the presentation has covered almost every doubt that can be possibly in students' mind about art industry. So, I would just need your suggestion for some basic questions. So, first
Absolutely.
is how a student at their early age, like in school, can start working on their skills. What are the practices or exercise they can perform to work on their skills if they want to pursue art as their core career?
So, a lot many people talk about drawing, but for me, it has to be line work. You have to have really strong line work, you know. So, Muskan, when you're drawing a line, can you draw a straight line?
I doubt.
Yes. So that is what I'm talking about. That you first and foremost practice your line work. You know, practice over and over again till the time that you get to, you know, solid where you're drawing a completely straight line. And then you need to learn about the pressure that you need to put on the pencil. So if you were to ask, if I were to ask you that you need to, I have an 8B pencil. First, you need to know what an 8B pencil is. And if you have an 8B pencil and I give that 8B pencil to you and I ask you to draw me the lightest line that is possible for you. So you need to know that how much pressure that you're going to put on that pencil to get the lightest line, because you know 8B is a very dark lead, right? So you need to start with these basics, then you later on get into sketching where you're sketching faces and you're sketching objects and hands, especially hands and eyes, because these are two very difficult body parts to express and work with. So as early on as you can start with these practices, and eventually everyone gets better and you will too.
Right, right. And I think I have the last question from you. So
Yes.
choosing art as a core career is already very challenging for a student in India, as looking at the social stigma and the parental pressure that to for choosing some kind of technical or medical career options. So choosing art over other famous career paths, it's already challenging for a student. So how do you suggest our student to overlook all these pressure and following their passion if they are really passionate about choosing pursuing art as a career?
Okay, there are many answers that are coming to my mind as you were asking me this question. So I would like to answer, but I would also like to say a few more things. First and foremost, the thing about passion. you really need to stop believing this thing about passion, because passion is something that makes you happy. Keep your passion aside, and please understand, I'm not saying that give up on an art career. Try and understand what I'm trying to say here. I'm saying is that passion is meant for you, it is not meant for you to give to other people. So keep your passion for you, and then take your creativity and modify it into something that is so amazing that other people can benefit from it. Because once you get into a profession, passion is killed. So first, keep the passion aside. Number two, see, I might sound condescending to you that I am involving your parents or taking your parents side when I'm saying this, but being a parent myself and being an artist myself, so I think it's justified to say that when my parents wanted me to not pursue this career, they actually put me in plus one. I did plus one, plus two. I did medical. I did go to medical school as well, and I gave up on it, and I went into design. But now, as a parent, I understand that why did they did do that, because they had such a life of struggle themselves, and as my parent, they did not want to see me struggle. And they knew that in a country like ours, where there is art on every corner, it will not enjoy the same value as something that was unconventional back then. Not everybody was a doctor, but everybody was creative, everybody was talented. Somebody was singing, somebody was painting, somebody was dancing, everybody was talented. So there was a lot of people doing that, but not many people were lawyers or engineers or doctors. That thinking has kind of carried on. And so what our parents are trying to do is they're trying to make it easy for us, that you know study these 4 to 6 years and your life is all set. You'll never have to struggle the way that we struggled. But I understand this need to prove yourself, and this passion to do something that you have a natural talent in, and I highly recommend it. But then again, you have to prove it to them that this is something that you can do, and you can do amazingly well. If you think that you're mediocre, you need to practice, work hard to make yourself exceptional. If you're naturally talented, then you need to again build that portfolio and showcase first to your parents themselves that you have that brilliant streak, you are talented enough to make it in the field where there is a huge amount of competition. uh, Muskan, I hope I answered the question. If I missed any part of the question, I would like you to repeat that to me.
No, no, absolutely. I'm totally agreeing with your point here. And so I think we have reached to the end of our session, and we'll have to wrap up today's session, but I promise we'll be back with another one. So as we wrap up today's session, I want to
Muskan,
thank
I
Iti
have
for
lost
sharing your
you.
insights with us. And I hope you all
Sorry.
got the answers to your
I think it's
questions.
a issue of
If you
mine.
all have any more questions, Iti, can you go to the last slide? The QR.
All right, all right. Yes, that's what I was telling you, that I was unable to hear you. Wait, I'll do that.
Okay, okay, no worries.
Is it visible now?
Yeah, yeah. So, I hope you all got the answers to your questions, and a quick idea of what the art industry is and what are the unconventional career paths are. So, if you all have any more questions, any doubts, any queries related to this career or any another career option or any another industry, you can simply scan this QR code. This QR code will take you to our web app where you will be able to see an Ask Me Anything option, and where you can get answers directly from our career counselors. So, yeah, go ahead and explore yourself. And for more informational updates, you can also follow our Instagram page, that is iDreamCareer. So, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below to stay updated. And thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Iti. Thank you so much for giving us your precious time today.
You're welcome, Muskan. And have a good one, everyone.
Yeah, and have a good one. Have a great day ahead. Thank you so much, guys.